To get started with TpT Digital Activities, you're going to visit the product listing of either a free or a PDF that you've purchased. It has to be a PDF file. At this point, zip folders are not accommodated in the digital activity platform. You're going to see this button here underneath the download access, but only if the teacher author has opted into this program. When you click on that, you're going to be taken into a new tab that will give you all the information on how the interactive layer works. It does require that you have a Google Classroom account where you're assigning the activities to your students. There are terms of use and privacy policies here, and then you do need to click on the agreement to these terms of use before you can start using the digital tool. So we'll select Create My Digital Activity. Now that you've activated TpT Digital Activities, I wanted to show you what it looks like to actually set up an activity. You're looking for a PDF. It, at this point, can't be part of a zip folder. It's got to be a standalone. You'll know based on whether or not this pops up on the resource page. If you don't see this, then chances are the file type is something other than a PDF, and at this time, that's the only format that is supported. So you're going to click on, yours is going to say something a little different, create digital resource or digital activity, something like that. So the activity will populate here in this first page, and this is where you're going to select which pages you want to create as a digital activity. For obvious reasons, you don't need the cover. So we'll select Edit Pages here, first of all. You don't need the cover. You don't need to include the terms of use. You don't need any of these extra pages. There are also some duplicate pages in this resource because I've included American and Canadian spelling. So it's always a good idea to take a look at the PDF version itself. You're going to see as well things like this, where there are two copies of the cover on the page. That's because this was designed to be a printable resource. It's important to remember that the TpT Digital Activities tool is just a way of making it easier for you to use PDFs in distance learning situations. So you need to remember that these are not designed for actual digital use. So I'm going to select the pages that I don't want to include, and I'm going to click Remove. At any point, you can reverse that. Even if I have an activity already set up, which many of my PDFs are, you can go back. You have the option of editing the pages, coming to this screen, and clicking here, Add from Original, and you can see all of the original pages, and you can insert some of the ones that I didn't include the first time. So now I'll select Save Changes, and you can see that that has populated over here on the next screen. So we're in the Prepare tab. We're going now to prepare the digital overlay. So what I want to do is place an answer box over top of the lines so that they are covered, and this is where the students will do their typing. Now, you can't actually type into these in the prepare level of the tool, but when you get to preview, you'll see that you can. So once I have one answer box in there, I'm just going to go to my select tool here, and I'm going to Control-C to copy it, and that just makes it much faster to populate the other boxes. And I can do that even across pages. Now that I've copied one, I can just go in, make sure that it's in a good place. And then, so once you've filled in all of your answer boxes or added all of your answer boxes, you can use the text tool here to give your students some instructions. You can change the size of the text. You can also change the color if you wish. You can use this delete tool. You just click on it and delete it. You can also use the pen tool to do some writing or doodling. There's a highlighter. And of course you can change the thickness of that as well. Let's go back here. Change the thickness, change the color. So lots of basic activity tools here, lots of basic features, but it makes teaching at a distance a little easier. You can change the title here if you wish so that you can see it in your list. And when you're finished setting up all of the pages, you're going to go to the preview. In the preview, you can test it out and just check each page. Oops, I'm going to scroll across each page this way. And you just want to make sure that everything is appearing where you had it entered. And then when you're sure that you've got it set up the way you want it, you're going to go to Assign. So you do need to have Google Classroom to use this at this time. I suspect that down the road other platforms will be available. For now, it's just Google Classroom. So you're going to use this button to create an access link. So what will happen, a copy is created for each student when they access the activity. Once the student has accessed it, any changes you make to the activity won't be reflected in their copy. So if you change, if you take a page away or add something else in, you'll have to assign it again. So you'll select the pages you want to share with your students in that Prepare tab, as we said. And there is a Getting Started guide that's a little more detailed than my video here. So create the access link. You will be selecting your Google Classroom, and it will give you an access code, and then this is where you'll be able to review student responses. So right now it's waiting for students to log in. When they have started working with this tool, you'll be able to see their responses there.